The way most people are forced to use their HSA quietly costs them up to $78,000. Not because HSAs are useless, and not because you're doing something wrong, but because the system around HSAs rewards leakage, friction, and mistakes. Insurers, custodians, and plan designers understand these incentives perfectly. The question is, do you? I analyzed IRS rules, HSA fee disclosures, and real account statements, ran the long-term math, and tracked common usage patterns. What I found isn't a small inefficiency, it's a systemic retirement drag. Here's what we're breaking down. The contribution illusion that limits real wealth accumulation. The investment drag most HSA holders never notice. The withdrawal timing trap that destroys tax advantages. And the 3 strategies that can protect or redirect $78,000. This isn't about rejecting HSAs. It's about understanding the structural incentives baked into how they're used. By the end, you'll know exactly how to stop bleeding tens of thousands of dollars. An HSA is the best retirement account available. On paper, that sounds right. Triple tax advantage, tax-deductible contributions, tax-free growth, tax-free medical withdrawals. Here's what they don't tell you. That promise only works under conditions most people never reach, and the system doesn't help you reach them. The math they don't want you to do? You're 40 years old. You max your HSA at $4,150 per year for 25 years. Expected outcome? $4,150 times 25 equals $103,750 contributed. Assume 7% growth, $270,000. Typical real-world outcome? Average HSA investment fees and cash drag is about 1.2%. Net return, 5.8%. Ending balance, $192,000. The gap, $78,000. You don't need to follow every number, just understand the direction. That gap isn't one bad decision. It's assumptions, fees, restrictions, and behavior stacking quietly. The compounding problem. Year 1 shortfall, $350. Year 5 shortfall, $4,900. Year 10 shortfall, $16,800. Year 20 shortfall, $54,000 plus. You don't feel this year to year. It doesn't show up as a warning. This isn't a bug, it's the design. HSAs feel powerful because they're triple tax advantaged, but they're aggressively capped and healthcare costs aren't. Before, contribution limit $4,150. Tax savings at 24%, $996. Annual benefit, $996. After inflation, medical costs rise 5 to 6%. HSA cap inches up slowly. Real tax benefit falls to approximately $640. You think you're scaling wealth. You're actually falling behind rising costs. The real kicker? This forces people to spend HSAs early instead of letting them compound. That behavior alone costs about $1,800 per year in lost growth. Over 20 years, $36,000 gone. Not malicious, just incentives misaligned by design. Most HSAs restrict investment options, high expense ratios, cash minimums, administrative fees. Before, market return 7%. $50,000 invested, annual growth $3,500. After, fees and drag 1.2%. Net return, 5.8%. Annual growth, $2,900. That's $600 lost every year. You don't see it as a fee. You feel it as slower growth. The real kicker? That drag compounds against you. Over 25 years, $31,000 erased. No villain, just a system that profits from inertia. HSAs are marketed as retirement tools, but withdrawals are where people slip. Before, qualified medical withdrawal, tax owed $0. After one mistake, income tax 24%, penalty 20%, total hit 44%. Withdraw $10,000 incorrectly, you lose $4,400 immediately. The real kicker? Most retirees don't track receipts for decades. Over retirement, $22,000 lost. Not stupidity, just complexity on purpose. Using your HSA strictly as a tax shelter, not a spending account. How it works? Pay medical expenses out of pocket. Let HSA funds stay invested. Digitize and store all receipts. The math? Contribution $4,150 per year. No withdrawals for 20 years. Extra compounding $1,200. That $1,200 comes from avoiding early withdrawals and staying fully invested. Long-term impact $24,000. Moving your HSA to a low-cost, investment-friendly custodian. How it works? Annual trustee-to-trustee transfer. Index funds under 0.10%. Remove admin fees. The math? Starting balance $60,000. Fee reduction 1%. Savings $600 per year. 20-year impact $18,000. You're not increasing risk, you're removing friction. Using the HSA as a sleek retirement layer, not your primary one. How it works? Max contributions, invest aggressively. Use later for Medicare and qualified expenses. Avoid early withdrawals. The math? 25 years of contributions. Tax-free medical spending $140,000. IRA taxes avoided $52,000. Total advantage $192,000. Difference versus typical usage $78,000 plus. This assumes consistency and restraint, which most people don't maintain. That's why it works. Here's what you do right now. Step 1. Review fees, cash requirements, and fund expenses. Step 2. Digitize every medical expense. Step 3. Index access matters more than branding. Step 4. Confirm withdrawal timing. Don't wait until retirement makes this irreversible. Your HSA isn't broken, it's constrained. The leakage is real, the drag is coming, and the $78,000 is waiting. But now you see it. Most people don't learn this until their first taxable withdrawal. You know now. The question isn't whether it's fair. The question is whether you'll act. Every year you wait, the system keeps the edge.